Hey everyone, welcome to Golden Papery. I am going to just start off with February week 4 reset, and this is going to be just a quick update video just because it's been kind of busy these past couple of weeks, but I am going to just update the February calendar. Nothing new here except I did add some new shipping boxes that should be coming in. I have this really bad tendency of ordering things and then forgetting what I order. I don't always order a whole bunch of items, but we do live in a rural place, so Amazon is my go-to when I don't find things at the big box stores here. And then we ordered some chickens from Tractor Supply, so I'm having to really pay attention when these things are going to come in because I'll have to be picking them up at the post office. But for this week, I decided to just do a very simple plan with me video just so we can kind of review what I have going on. I did not plan at all last week. It was very hectic. On top of the fact that we had Monday off as a holiday, we were in the valley visiting family, and then my daughter got sick Tuesday and Wednesday, and then my son got sick on Thursday. So it's just been like, a crazy week. I'm grateful that everybody is feeling much better this week and I get time to just go back to planning and making sure that we stay on track as a family. So this week I do have a couple of meetings happening, but not anything too crazy. It's the typical scheduled meetings that I have on a weekly basis, but I am trying to keep my calendar open for all the projects that are going live in March. So I believe in my December/January videos, I did mention that I was on a big project. Basically, I took this whole last week also to try to rebuild a Power BI report, and it took much longer than expected. My brain was getting fried. I had to switch out from my contacts to my glasses, and it ended up being a whole thing because it was just a lot of thinking. And I know people think like, okay, you are a, data engineer or IT consultant or whatever you want to call it, right? But when you're coding, it really drains you sometimes trying to figure out why something doesn't work as it should, or redesigning your code so that it fits, the relationships for any databases. So just a little snippet there about things that I have to deal with on a daily basis. And yes, I was working on just one report all week aside from the tickets that came in our queue. So, but this week I'm hoping that it is calmer. I get to go back to my Jira board and just close out some of the tickets that I had. Thankfully, I should be meeting my goal of closing out 2 more Jira tickets. So the crazy thing is that I have certain Jira tickets that I've been on here for a long time now, and they should be going live within the next couple of months. So I feel happy about that. But then I have some that I open up and then I close, and they're much shorter projects. And so those are the ones that I ended up closing this month, which I always like to say it's not a bad thing, right? But I would love to close out the longer term projects. And I think that's where I'm trying to really meet with the stakeholders and just get this all scheduled out. But for this week, I also have my daily tracking. So I review my Jira board daily. I check the Fresh Desk tickets queue. And then I have been trying to work out again just on a daily basis. This week, I won't be able to do that Monday, Wednesday, Friday, just because I did have a dermatology appointment and they're recommending no exercise. And then I do also have meals that I'm going to plan, but I'm hoping that this week I just do a lot of dinner where I just make more food than usual and then just save that for the next day's lunch. But this is the week for February 23 to February 29. Let's see. Aside from this, I do have some personal things going on. I'm trying to think first. The You know what, I just realized I said February 29 and there's no February 29. But February 28th to March 1st. That's what it should have been. But you know, your girl is just over here on all the things. Um, it's also Rare Disease Day coming up on February 28th. So I ordered some t-shirts with the help of my sister for the daycare family. And as I mentioned, my son has a genetic condition where we celebrate his condition. We don't shame it. We love to bring the daycare, and they've been super amazing just getting him with his current milestones. He's been doing some new things this week, and I'm just so excited about it. So, but from my weekly planner, I'm also adding in the larger projects that I need to close out that are coming live next week. So today I really would like to send an email update about the redesign that I did for my report. And then I also got a high priority request, and after reviewing, it was not working as it should. So just, you know, your typical Monday, which is always fun. And the fun thing about planning is when I get to my stickers. I love adding the stickers. They make my planning look, you know, seamless, just fun, exciting, even though sometimes your day can be kind of things that you don't want to look forward to. But thankfully, we don't have any therapies going on this week. Dorian gets to have a good, you know, therapy-free week. March will be a little bit hectic. We do have some clinical trial visits in Houston, and then he has some new appointments to get fitted for a kind of like a walker therapy type. We're trying to get him to really just weight bear and just stand. So just exciting things coming. But I also feel, you know, a little stressed out as a mom trying to help my child, you know, plan all of his own activities. I don't like for my kids to feel overwhelmed with so many appointments, and so I try to protect that as well. But from the weekly, I also am trying to get ready to file my taxes, and so I'm going to take some time this week to also categorize and organize my expenses, since we do try to file with an ag related expenses, and also the medical side of it, right? We have a lot of medical expenses, so we try to get, you know, the right receipts, making sure that things add up and that we're being accounted for when we file everything. So not always a fun time. I try to wait to file my taxes until the very end, but we have an amazing tax lady, so she always looks out for us. And then something fun that I was able to do last week, which I wasn't able to mention because I didn't record a video last week, but I was able to meet my one of my previous coworkers slash she's also my tax lady now, but she has another business as well that I was able to provide just IT support on, and that was fun. I forgot how fun it was to just get into an office and do just typical IT support on things that are so easy. You know, it doesn't really require much thinking, and so that was a good change. We were on vacation though, so I tried to minimize that to as much as I could, which I did. It didn't take as long, and all in all, I think it took about maybe 3 hours in total, so it wasn't too bad. And for this week, I get to enjoy some lunch with my friend, and I am excited to see her because it's been a while. I did tell her, like, we are doing it this week. We are going to lunch. We're going to try a new spot, and we're just gonna have a good time. And right now I'm just really prioritizing my self-care. So you're gonna be seeing lots of, you know, getting my hair salon, making sure I go to my appointments, and you know, we're just trying to keep everything uh, good. So if I'm good, kids are good, family is good. So for work, I'm gonna just update some of my planning templates here. This project that I have going on is still good, and then I have a real estate website that I've been working on, and usually I work on these at night, like an hour before I go to bed or start my nightly routine, and it's been going pretty good. I've been able to get some good headway on that. We should be finalizing within the next 2 weeks. And then I have a women's summit that I have to speak at next weekend. So I'm going to be working, I've already been working on it, my speech, but I'm going to finally start jotting down the notes on a sheet and start practicing because I am a very introverted person. So this takes a lot of practice. But I also wanted to give you guys just a quick glance into my workout. So I was diagnosed with diabetes a couple of months ago, and it was already a diagnosis that I had. I didn't know I had it. So I had my son probably, what, like a year and a half ago. He's gonna be a year and a half. And the entire time that I was dealing with his medical stuff, I was not feeling my best. And when I finally got to the doctor and started doing testing, that's when I found out that I had diabetes that came from gestational diabetes. So it just, it's one of those things that you have to live with. And so working out has been to kind of improve muscle mass since I lost a lot of weight with some of the medications. I changed my diet completely. So it's been interesting trying to find a good workout routine. And I'm trying to concentrate on the areas that, you tend to lose your muscle mass, your arms, your glutes, and your legs. And so it's good that, like, yes, I've lost a lot of body weight, but you also don't want to be, weak and brittle, because I need my strength as I go to these different doctor's appointments or be there for my kiddos. So working out has been good these past, I want to say 3 weeks, because it's been calm, but I've been pushing it to also pick up the weights. So that's going good. And this is just a quick little snippet of like some of the things that I like to do on a daily basis. And then I switch it up and do a walk or a brisk walk. And then I also do weights, which dumbbells, not anything, not anything particular, but just picking up those dumbbells so I can get some strength in me. And from that, the snacks are the same. They are protein heavy snacks, apples with peanut butter. I got some peanut butter bites that I do, some granola bars, just making sure that it has a lot of protein. And when I eat, making sure that it's protein first always. These are my monthly goals that I mentioned earlier. I feel confident that I'm going to meet my work goals, and I have been slacking in my Garmin challenges. Although, because I've been doing the workouts on a daily basis, I should be meeting one of the challenges that I didn't sign up for, but I'll make sure to do that before the month is over. And then on my personal tracker, this is my cash budgeting planner. Desk is a little bit messy, but I do a just weekly planning on here as well. And this is more for when I take my planner out to buy groceries, put in gas. I'm actually going to the bank today, so I didn't have my cash on hand to make the cash on the sinking funds and my cash envelopes. But after I go pick up the kiddos and go to the bank, I should be able to get that on my planner. So that should be good. And then that's it. I'm putting a pause on the rest of the February challenges, the savings challenges, but not putting a pause on the savings within the planner. We're still using the cash that I pull out to save for the monthly. And I feel a little bit embarrassed to say this, but everything has been used. When we went to the Valley last week to go visit family, we had to rely on cash because my husband had to do these little small purchases. And so I took out a lot of the cash that I had on hand for different buckets. And so that kind of depleted it, but it was money that was already saved, and we still used it for, like the areas that we needed it for. Like groceries was used for groceries, kids was used for meals. We went out to eat. All of that was utilized with the cash envelope. So I feel embarrassed that I don't have money in my, cash envelopes, but they were used for things that we needed them for. So that's, you know, that's what it's for. It's to use it, and it's not always to just save, save, save. You know, it's good to save, but also don't get yourself into debt while trying to save. So we will fill this up by the end of today, but you know, we'll see you guys next week, and thanks for watching. Bye.